Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. As I said I was going to do, I was going to make one right now. If you watch my last video, it's literally 37 seconds after that. So, this is what I want to talk about, man. Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was the sixth player picked in the draft of 2000, was it 15, something like that. The same year Juju was drafted, Julius Randle. We took Juju at 7. The Celtics had taken Marcus Smart at 6, and I was super happy about that because I wanted Julius Randle, and I thought the Celtics may take him. So that made me happy. Uh, so Marcus Smart stays the Celtics all this time. He's had some injury issues here and there, but the majority of his time with the Celtics has been pretty damn successful. He's a really, really fantastic defender. He has extremely strong lower base, which makes him a tough player to guard, or a tough player to be guarded by, no matter really what position you play, 1, 2, or 3 particularly. If he's guarding you, you got problems, and his scoring is streaky. You hate seeing him shoot the ball because he's either going for 0 for 6 or he's going 6 for 6. He's one of the more streaky, irritating shooters in the league. But he makes up for it with his stellar defense and his overall intangibles, which really span across just about the entire statistical board. The dude can do it all. He passes really well. He rebounds really well with his big body. He can score. He's not afraid of contact at all. He's not the greatest free throw shooter, but I think he's improved some. I'd have to check on that. But he's somebody who can do a lot of things. He's an elite defender, one of the top defenders in all of basketball, in my opinion. And he's kind of like a mini Draymond for the Boston Celtics. They've developed him. And the good thing about him also is that even though he's listed at a point guard, like I said, he can play all 3 positions, especially on the defensive side. And I don't want to put this on him, but he appears to be comfortable whether he's playing off the bench or starting. He appears to be one of those guys who doesn't have the ego that some other guys may have, to where I need to start right now, blah, blah, blah. No, he has played with the likes of Kyrie Irving, Terry Rozier. He's played with, obviously, Kemba Walker. So this is somebody who can play with other lead guards and still do all of the things that he's good at for you. And it looks like the Boston Celtics are finally ready to move on from him. I hear that they may be having him dangled in the Orlando potential rumor for Aaron Gordon. He might be like the centerpiece for the Celtics package. And I'm not certain if it's not a mistake, to be honest with you. I do understand that the Celtics have some needs. I do understand how important a guy like Aaron Gordon can be for their team if they get him right now. The Celtics have always had a gaping hole at the center position, but Robert Williams broke out this season. So now that's no longer a problem. It's that simple. Robert Williams defensively he's turning into an elite center defensively. He rebounds the ball like a madman. He blocks shots like crazy, very, very consistently. And, he's given them the rim protection that they so desperately needed. Meanwhile, Daniel Tice is turning into something a little better than a role player himself, and he's a guy who continues to get better and better seemingly every game. So now they went from having big man issues to really not doing so bad at the big man position, just simply because the guys they got better. So, but you do see opportunities for them to get better at the 4 spot nevertheless. They're a little shallow. They're not the deepest team in the world, but they do have players in just about every position that they really, really like. So it's really strange that they've struggled so bad, especially when you consider that they have one of the more appreciated coaches in all of basketball. So it's like, okay, if we're talking about good coaching and we're talking about a good roster, how come they can't seem to succeed? And I think I know the answer to that. This season, the reason why they haven't been able to succeed is because Jayson Tatum went down with COVID halfway through the season and missed almost half of the season himself. And somehow made an all-star team. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, that was what ultimately went wrong with them. And plus, Kemba Walker missed half of the season as well, and he's just now coming back, and he's not knocked off the rust like he needs to, and that's a thing. So I personally think the Boston Celtics would much rather trade Kemba Walker than Marcus Smart. But the problem is Marcus Smart is not as consistent of an offensive player as they would need him to be to leave him as their only point guard. And Kemba Walker's value is super low. And I think they can raise that value if he gets a little healthier, plays throughout the season, maybe gets another playoff series with the Celtics. They could probably have a much better chance of trading him if they decide to, or even may not even want to trade him, because we all know who Kemba Walker is when he's right. Not the guy you not the kind of guy you trade. So at this point, they're probably saying, well, we're going to wait on Kemba Walker, but we do want to get Aaron Gordon. Marcus Smart can probably get us Aaron Gordon. But the problem is, and I know what I'm talking about here, and I know if you've probably watched my videos, you probably can guess where I'm going with this. Marcus Smart facilitates, man. He makes other people better. When he's not jacking up bad three-point shots, he makes others better. He can get you 6 assists. And he can do it without major minutes at the point guard position. So what I'm thinking is, you're going to lose some cohesion. You may gain some offensive scoring with Aaron Gordon and some athleticism and some excitement, open shots for your stars because you bring in another star scorer. But you're going to have a Clipper syndrome situation where you're not going to have a facilitator out there to really make it so that they all go. Now, Kemba Walker can facilitate. I don't want to underestimate his passing ability. He can pass with the best of them. But if he's going to have injury issues and you can't count on him being on the floor, tell me who's going to play point guard for them if Kemba ain't out there and Marcus Smart is traded. Well, I have an answer for you. His name is Peyton Pritchard, and I actually like the kid. He's really good. But guess what he is? He's a rookie. And what happens with rookies? Rookies are not strong enough to make an entire season. And we've seen that with LaMelo Ball. As talented as LaMelo is, it ultimately came down to him just simply not having enough muscle on his body to make it through the season. 5-6 years from now, that wrist break that he just had ain't going to be a wrist break. He's going to bounce back up off of that. He's going to shake that off. He's going to be fine. Your bones get stronger when your body gets stronger. Muscles grow around it, etc. You need rookies to take their time and get healthy and get strong. Peyton Pritchard is not an insurance policy for Kemba Walker as a rookie. He's not. Give Peyton a couple years and he can play that role for you, maybe even be your starter. But he's not there yet. And if you get rid of Marcus Smart, and Kemba Walker never shakes off this rust or goes down with another injury, the Celtics are going to be worse, much worse, running Peyton Pritchard out there and asking him to facilitate for Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Aaron Gordon. You're not beating the Nets that way. You're not beating Philly that way. And I can argue you're probably not going to beat whoever you're going to see that way. Celtics are a 500 team right now as is, and that's with facilitation down there. You bring in Aaron Gordon's 30-something points, he's been playing on a bad team his whole career. He didn't make the Orlando Magic a great team. They're not supremely better because of Aaron Gordon. That's been the problem. They've paid him a lot of money. They've kept him for all these years. They developed him. He's turned into what he's supposed to turn into, but he's just a guy at the end of the day. He's not affecting wins in a way that makes it so that your team is so much better for having him. You're just not going to be – he's a scorer. He's a guy. I mean, I'm not going to crap on Aaron Gordon. I think he can help a lot of teams. But the Celtics is not one of them if they're going to deplete their point guard position and bringing him in. That's what I'm saying. I like Aaron Gordon in Denver. That's where I want to see him go. But as far as going to the Celtics, nah. First of all, you got JT Money. That's who I call Jayson Tatum because they wear green. JT Money used to be a rapper back when I was a little kid, so that's why I call him. JT Money, you got him down there. He plays the same position as Aaron Gordon. You got Jaylen Brown, who's broken out. He plays the 3, he plays the 2, he can also play the 4. So now you're looking at Aaron Gordon, you're saying, okay, you're going to be the 4. Jayson Tatum's officially moves to the 3. Jaylen Brown officially moves to the 2. Kemba Walker plays the 1, and Robert Williams plays the 5. You got a fantastic starting 5 there. Don't get it twisted. It's a great starting 5. But if Kemba goes down, who's getting these guys the ball? Then suddenly you have a bunch of individuals down there. Jaylen Brown, individual. Jayson Tatum, individual. Aaron Gordon, individual. You need a point guard, a facilitator, a floor general, somebody who's going to orchestrate the basketball to make all of that come together. Or else you're the Clippers, only worse. So I'm telling you, Boston is not going to make themselves better if they trade Marcus Smart and bring back Aaron Gordon. You look better to people who play video games. You see what I'm saying? If you're a 2K player and you can, you play your sport that way, yeah, for sure. You're going to love having 3 40-point scorers down there. But you're not going to get those 40-point scorers to score 40 points and still win basketball games if you don't have somebody getting them the ball. Aaron Gordon needs someone to get him the ball. Jayson Tatum's going to need somebody to get him the ball. Jaylen Brown doesn't necessarily need somebody to get him the ball, but it would be better if he had somebody down to get him the ball. So, don't do this. That's essentially what I'm saying. If you're going to trade Marcus Smart, you better make sure you're bringing back a facilitator in his stead. You make damn sure of that, Danny Ainge. You make damn sure of that. Do not think Aaron Gordon is the end-all, be-all to your answers. All he's doing is taking minutes away from Daniel Tice. That's all he's doing, okay? That's literally it. And I could argue that Aaron Gordon and Daniel Tice are pretty much the same player. Daniel Tice is a poor man's Aaron Gordon right now. That's who he is. So, like, I know some people are excited about that. In terms of names, yes, Aaron Gordon is a name. His name is sexy when you put him up there with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But without the glue to make it work, you just got a bunch of guys who are going to be looking for their own shot. They're not going to be looking to make each other better. You're going to have the Clippers East. That's what you're going to have. I can't stress it enough. No point guard, no cohesiveness. You're going to win games because of the talent of the players you have, but not the games you want to win. Not the games against the Nets, not the games against the Philly 76ers. You're not going to win those games. And those are the games ultimately you need to win. Well, Boston needs to win any games right now because they're 500 and they're in the 8th spot. But that's a whole nother story in and of itself. I think that they are not their record because they've had guys missing and now those guys are back. So all they got to do, in my opinion, is just play a little better. You know what I mean? Just literally play better. They don't necessarily need a trade because there ain't no trade they're going to make that's going to make them better than the Nets. So you're kind of just in no man's land anyway. I don't think they really need to do anything other than make sure that they maneuver their cap so that they can put themselves in a position to afford whoever's coming down the pipeline down the road. So, like for me, the Celtics, they have all these picks, so there are a lot of things they can do, but they just don't seem to have the imagination to make it work. That's always been the problem with the Celtics. Like, you have all this value, but no vision. Your team, like, it should be so much better with the value that you possess. And I felt that way for several years about the Celtics. They should already have a ring, like in this era. They should already have one with all of those damn picks that they've had over the last 3-4 years. So, yeah, I'm not one to say Danny Ainge doesn't know what he's doing, but I will say that what I've seen is a lack of imagination from him right now. Just a lack of imagination. And bringing in Aaron Gordon is not your answer, in my opinion. So I think they should keep Marcus Smart unless they can bring back a point guard who's going to be better than Kemba Walker. And that's just like, that doesn't fit what you need. I don't know. And that's the thing. I sit here and I say, I don't know what the Celtics need, though. Like, truly, I don't. For the longest, it's been a center, but now it's like I believe in Robert Williams so much. It's like I don't want to take him out the starting lineup at all. He's one of the best shot blockers out there. Jayson Tatum's a small power forward. Like, what do they need? Could they use another 2? Maybe to solidify some depth? Maybe a backup 4? I don't know. Like, Semi Ujale, do you love him? Has he developed properly? Is he that guy? I don't know. Like, I have no idea. So, for me, I just say that Celtics just need to get some depth. You know, they could use a guy like Marcus Morris back again. Like, that's what the Celtics need. They don't need to get an Aaron Gordon. They need somebody to solidify their bench. They need a KCP. They need some role players that just give them a little girth because they already got the stars and they already got the coach. So, I don't know. Celtics are a strange bunch, and I just don't know where they're headed. But they do have the assets, so we'll see. Anyway, my name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.